Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Guidance. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So tonight I have a love message from your person. I will be pulling from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. Okay, so the first message that we have here is, I'm having very weird dreams about you. Wow. Whoever you are a very powerful feminine energy, because there's something that your person's higher self really wants them to know about you. And your person is at this place where they're wondering if they should even open up to you about something that they saw in a dream, because you were in this dream, Divine Feminine. But I feel like this energy is really tapping into what they saw and specifically how this dream made them feel. Because there's such an emotional heaviness coming through with this card here, this also feels like something that your person has been sitting on for a little while now. Almost like they don't really know what to do with this information because they don't really know what it means. They don't know if this is a sign or something that they should be taking serious, or if this is simply just a dream that doesn't really have any meaning. So if you feel them lingering in your energy field at this time, this is why. There's definitely a push and pull energy coming through here, because your person is not only undecided on how they want to handle this, but they're also really emotionally triggered by this. And I feel like it's the fact that they saw you and they interacted with you in this dream in a way that has really stuck with them for days. For some of you, I'm getting that this has been sitting with them for weeks, maybe even months. And I'm being drawn to the word weird. Almost like there's a reason why they're labeling this dream in this way. So this may not be the first time that they saw you show up in their dream state, but it's definitely the first time that a dream about you has been so triggering that it stood out from the rest. And when you look at this spiritually, dreams are meant to do exactly what they're doing to your person. It's meant to shock you or get your attention in a way that alters the way that you think or the way that you act, especially when it's connected to a deeper message. So this was definitely one of those dreams that stick with you for a lifetime, or one of those dreams that you keep replaying, trying to find the deeper meaning to it. So if you've been feeling your person pulling on your energy, if you can feel their energy close to you at this time, it's because their higher self is very close to your energetic field, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is, it was your eyes. Yeah, there was something about this dream that was extremely precise. Divine Feminine, there's something about you that is about to get exposed. This is the reason why your masculine feels that this dream was weird, because what they experienced was not a dream at all. I'm getting very clearly this was an activation. Something that was so visually powerful that it's altering your person's reality. Yeah, something about the overall energy of this reading is very spiritual. Almost like I'm tapping into something very intimate or something very ancient, or just two souls who have a very powerful soul contract together. And you may not be aware of this, but you're bonded to someone who could see you physically, but they could not see you spiritually. This is someone who always had trouble making eye contact with you for fear of what they might see. So with this card here, it was your eyes. This is why your person has been avoiding the more spiritual aspect of your connection. Divine Feminine, your eyes are like a portal. Something about your gaze is very precise, it's very inviting, it is very otherworldly. You have no idea what your person feels standing on the other side of your gaze. This is a masculine who knew from day one that you were the right person. But there were certain things about your connection that they really did not understand. And instead of coming to you to try to understand you better, they just kept a lot of things bottled up. And I'm getting that this manifested into one of the longest separations that you have ever had with this person. But what's so interesting is that even though you've been at a distance, this masculine has never stopped manifesting you. This is why your energy is showing up in the dream state, almost as if their higher self knows that this is not the end of your story. But I'm getting that this has not been an easy connection or an easy journey for your masculine. If they could be 100% honest, there's something about you, Divine Feminine, that has always made them feel very, very vulnerable. So they have always kept you at a distance. And they've been doing this from the very beginning. Maybe they didn't know how to put words to this feeling because even though they have really, really deep feelings for you, they've always felt like something about you was just really different. From the outside looking in, you may appear to be a very normal person or a very simple feminine energy, but I'm getting very clearly that this connection is actually really emotionally complicated for your person. I'm also picking up on this really repetitive energy. So because of that, it's almost like your connection kept replaying the same loop over and over again. And then recently there was a long break in the communication or a separation that lasted way longer than the both of you expected. But what's been very different about this current separation is that there has been zero communication the way that it's coming through. There's been no updates, there's been no visual access. It's just been you and your masculine in two different places, living your lives while still trying to navigate this very powerful energetic bond that you have to one another. So this is why your person doesn't know what to do with all of this information that they're receiving from their higher self, because simply looking into your eyes caused some type of activation. After your person had been avoiding your energy for a very, very long time, your higher self showed up in the dream state and they were unable to avoid your energy. They were unable to avoid this activation, looking into your eyes, or experiencing something extremely otherworldly simply by looking at you. And this energy feels so powerful because even though this is a transition or an activation that was initiated in the 5D, it's now following your person to the 3D. Yeah, your person is just going through a lot mentally and emotionally, and you are the cause of this, okay? Let's get the next message here. Wow. The next message that we have is the veil has lifted. Yeah. If you're resonating with this message so far, what your person experienced was not only an activation, okay? This was also a warning. And I'm getting a dual energy with this card here. This reading has such an underlying energy of intensity because both you and your masculine felt a very powerful shift recently. And this could definitely be tapping into the energy of the 1111 portal. So whether you know it or not, that portal was very significant for the both of you because 1111 is symbolic of an energetic or maybe even a physical opening or an invitation to a higher timeline. But this type of ascension only comes to you at a very, very specific time. It only comes to you after you go through a certain level of initiation. So this is very interesting. In this activation that was disguised as a dream, your masculine awakened to your soul contract. And I'm getting the word tower moment very clearly. So the only reason why your person was able to even tap into this energy or have this interaction with your higher self is because in your specific soul contract, you and your person agreed to only come into physical union after the both of you successfully went through a tower moment. And this is so significant because prior to this moment, your person could only see you with their physical eyes. They could only see you in the 3D. They were not able to access your energy on a higher level of consciousness or awareness. So there's definitely something that your person went through in the recent past that allowed them this specific type of access to you. Because spiritually, this is the ultimate initiation. And tower moments are specifically initiated by your higher power or your higher self. You don't really have control over what happens. Things just begin to shift in your reality. There is so much happening spiritually in this connection. I'm just picking up on two souls who are about to be reintroduced to one another, but it may be on different terms or it may be in a different way than you expected. And you will know this message is for you if this year has been really, really eye opening for you when it comes to love. For some of you, it may have even felt like you were being guided to be really selective with your energy, even if you can't really explain why you felt that way. But you and this masculine's higher selves are up to something. So if you picked up on this divine feminine, you are not only highly intuitive, but you're also tapping into something that is about to directly affect your love life. And you are not alone in this because there's such a dual energy coming through with this message. So you and your masculine are both being affected by your higher selves in really different ways. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is I knew the cost. Something about this energy just feels higher, okay? It's almost as if you and this masculine knew that being in this type of connection would come with a cost. And now you both are being faced with having to pay that cost. And maybe you didn't know how this would play out or when this will play out, but I'm getting the time is now, okay? And I keep being brought back to that 1111 portal. That was a very, very powerful activation. So if you notice a really specific or spiritual shift, definitely comment down below because this energy just feels very, very specific or just really directed at a very specific feminine energy. There is heavy throat chakra energy coming through here. And I also just got the word lies very clearly. Yeah, so this message is for someone very specific. Upon agreeing to coming into this connection with this masculine, you made a deal with your higher self that you would be honest. Because it's almost as if your higher self knew that this level of honesty will almost feel sacrificial in some way. And I'm getting that it was. In order for you to align with this masculine in this lifetime, one of the requirements as the divine feminine was that you could not lie. Okay, this energy is very, very direct. You couldn't lie to anyone else, but more importantly, you could not lie to yourself. And once you came into that agreement with your higher self, everything in your life changed. This could have actually been the initiation of your tower moment, divine feminine. And I'm specifically getting within the last 3 to 5 years, but this could be longer for some of you. And this was very important because the higher part of you knew that most feminine energies are operating from a blocked throat chakra. Because whether you believe it or not, in order for a lot of feminines to coexist with the masculine, they have to lie to themselves about their wants, about their needs, about how they would like to be loved, about who they are. And this is so spiritual because aligning with masculine energy in this way, it blocks the flow of your energy, it blocks the flow of your vitality, and also your abundance. And this is something that you specifically wanted to avoid. So you came into agreement with your higher self that your love life would have to exist on a completely different timeline. Because I'm getting very clearly, honesty, integrity, and the energy of truth are in your soul contract. So this is tapping into a very powerful feminine energy. Someone who not only wanted their love life to carry a specific frequency, but you also wanted to align with a very specific type of masculine. And in order for you to do that, you had to completely start over. You had to completely go through a tower moment in order to start on a more solid foundation. And I'm getting clearly, some of you went through this in the past. Some of you could be at this point right now, and you could be wondering why things are being removed, why your foundation feels a little rocky. This is why. This is a part of your soul contract, specifically as it pertains to your love life or this masculine that you are connected to. Okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is external energy. So this energy translates very, very different for your masculine because this is tapping into what they agreed to in their contract. Everything that they agree to is tied directly to their external world, or it's really wrapped up in their physical reality. So the only reason why this masculine was able to have this interaction or this sacred exchange with your higher self is because recently they changed their relationship to consumption. This is tied directly to the role that your person has to play. And anytime this card comes out, it can point to so many things. Typically, what it points to is a connection that has been deeply affected by external energy of some sort. And this could be a person, a place, or a thing. But I'm getting that this is actually tied to the underlying energy of your person. Your connection has always been indirectly affected by your masculine's mindset because spiritually their energy is more external while yours is more internal, divine feminine. And the way this energy is coming through, this masculine always seemed to be more concerned with the physical aspect of your connection. So naturally, they may have paid way more attention to how your connection looked rather than how it felt. It's almost as if, regardless of what they felt for you internally or what they tapped into spiritually, they always had a hard time trying to ground this energy. And because of that, there are things about you that your person never wanted to explore for fear of going too deep or for fear of tapping into something that they really didn't understand. But I'm getting it's too late for that now because they have been so wrapped up in the details of your soul contract that they are entering new territory. And I keep getting the word pure. So this masculine is only receiving deeper levels of access to you, your soul contract, your higher self, because they changed their relationship to consumption. And this could be the result of many things. But this type of activation only comes through when someone has made a significant shift spiritually. So I don't know how much you know about their personal life or what they're experiencing on their journey at this time or what's happening behind the scenes. But what's coming through clearly is that they recently made a conscious decision to stop leaking their life force energy. And because of that, their intuition is sharp. So is their ability to manifest, which may be much more quicker, more accurate. Your masculine is no longer scattered. So maybe in the past, this is someone who had a really, really hard time focusing their energy. Maybe they couldn't pick up on signs or synchronicities. And this could have been tied to their physical environment or their level of awareness. So the fact that they were recently activated by you in such an intimate way is very telling, okay? This is someone who never received such a direct message from their higher self about you. So there is something about their level of consumption that is really, really significant. This keeps being highlighted here. So maybe your person is practicing celibacy, maybe they're fasting, maybe they're praying. There are many ways to tap into higher levels of consciousness, but what's coming through clearly is that your person is changing and your higher self and your guides want you to be aware because both of your energies are not only working together in the 5D, but it's almost as if your higher selves are working overtime to ground the energy of your connection. And because of that, your person is thinking very deeply about the role that they play in your life. And I don't know what they've been seeing in their dreams, Divine Feminine, but it's almost as if this is someone that can see you now, almost as if they have a completely different set of eyes. So they may have a difference of opinion about your connection, the beginning of your connection, certain things that transpired. Yeah, something about this energy is very fresh, but it's also very, very spiritual. Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have here is this was divinely orchestrated. Yeah. This is tapping into a really, really special bond. But if you could be honest, Divine Feminine, for as long as you can remember, it always felt like the more important aspect of your connection was the unseen aspect of your connection, or it wasn't given the proper energy or the proper respect. And it's because this masculine pursued you for a very specific reason, but it's not for the reason that you may think. Because I'm getting clearly that you came into this person's life when they just so happened to have the free range, the energy, the time, the space to choose how they wanted to merge with someone. And they chose you. But the way this energy is coming through in this reading, something about that choice was very external, it was very physical, it was very, very tied to the 3D in some way. And the person that you are about to come in contact with is not the same person that you first met. And you may notice this upon speaking to them or even seeing them, that something about them is different. This is someone who had to change their entire relationship to consumption, the things that they were taking in, their environment, their friends, the people, places, and things in their immediate environment, in order for their higher self to even communicate with them about you. And because of that, your connection is about to go from complete silence to very, very fast paced action, seemingly out of nowhere. And it's only because what appeared to be stagnancy in the 3D was actually a very powerful merging in the 5D between your higher self and your masculine's higher self. So with this card here, the natural order in your connection is being restored, with the feminine being the one to lead the masculine to their soul. And because of the level of soul contract that this is, you had to go through very specific awakenings or tower moments before merging physically. Because the truth is that your person was under the same veil that most masculine energies are under when it comes to the feminine. But the only difference is that your person agreed to be led to the truth because they chose a divine counterpart who signed up to lead with honesty, integrity, and self respect, even if it led to delays or periods of no contact. Every single thing that has played out in your connection up until this point was already written and agreed upon by you and your person. Also, what's being highlighted with this card here is that after a very, very long time, the divine feminine is rising. And this is going to change the way that you interact with everyone in your world. But the most impact is going to come from your romantic connections, because this is the area of your life that requires a much deeper level of access. So the fact that your person is even in alignment with this energy, it kind of speaks to the caliber of masculine that you're connected to. Because honestly, there are a lot of souls who are not aware of what's going on spiritually at this time. So if you notice that you're also at this place where you're thinking about the more spiritual significance of your love life, then you and your person are marrying one another heavily at this time. But on a deeper level, your masculine is beginning to trust that you can lead them spiritually after rejecting this truth or just simply not being aware of the divine order of this type of soul contract. And in the 3D, this is looking like your person showing up a lot more focused or just being really intentional with how they're choosing to exchange their energy. And just tapping into the underlying energy of this message, it's almost like you knew that this time would come, Divine Feminine. You knew the cost. You knew that your person would have to be awakened. You knew that they would have to go through a very rigorous tower moment, or something would have to completely shake their foundation in order for them to wake up to who they truly are spiritually. And there's something very significant about that 1111 portal, because that was definitely a huge activation or just a huge milestone in your connection with your person. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. Thank you so much for your support, loves. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to head over to Patreon just to see what other messages come through. I really feel like this message was coming from your person's higher self, just giving you a deeper look at their process. So I'm going to see if there are any more messages from their higher self that you need to be made aware of at this time. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.